Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are having an excellent day. My last few days have actually been, I don't want to say bad, but a little bit sad, so I'm happy to be back here again, able to have some fun with you and play some Alpha Sapphire. So, since it's been a couple days, our berries have certainly grown, and there are four of them. I wonder if you let them grow longer, if they sprout more berries, or are we just lucky? And once again, we have four right here, so I'm going to take those. And because I expect we'll be in this area for at least a little while longer, let's go ahead and plant some more berries. Can always come back off camera too to pick them up. And for a little bit of diversity, we will have a peccaberry and an oranberry. So, you guys may have noticed there is a new addition to our party, and that is an egg. So, this is a Pokemon that is a Generation 3 Pokemon that I really want to train. It's one of my favorite Generation 3 Pokemon. However, you can't get it very easily in the game, let's just say. So instead of waiting a long time to get it, I decided I would go ahead and breed one and trade an egg over to this game, which is what I did. Big shout out to my friend Neo, who helped me by allowing me to trade the egg from my X game to his game, and then he traded it back from his game to this game. Um, without him, let's see if we can sneak to whatever this is. Without him, this would not have been possible. The other alternative would have been to trade this Pokemon itself, but I feel like that's less fun because then I'm not the original trainer and you guys don't get to see me nickname it, and it also gains increased experience at a faster rate, which means you use it less because it's gaining experience faster. So, all in all, I decided to go ahead and grab the egg. Surskit will probably just defeat. Ooh, Aquajet. Aquajet is it's like the move Quick Attack for those of you who probably know that move, but it's Water type. And moves like that are called increased priority moves because normally whichever Pokemon goes first is whichever one is fastest, has the highest speed stat. But if you use a increased priority move, your move will go first before any normal moves or any regular moves that another Pokemon uses. Probably could have caught that Surskit, but that's okay. Don't really want to. Yeah, so we still have a little while to go on the egg before it hatches, but we will keep it with us nice and safe, and eventually we will have a new permanent addition to our team. So that'll be fun. And I actually expect to be catching another new edition, probably not this episode, but in the somewhat near future. Alright, thank you Nurse Joy, healing up our Pokemon since Torchic took a little bit of damage in that last battle, being weak to Aquajet. Also, let's change the Pokenav to... let's see. Yeah, let's go with this one. We can kind of see what's on the route as we go. Alright, so when we left off, we were about to head north into, is that Petalburg Woods? That rings a bell, so I want to say that's what it's called, but we'll have to find out together. Alright, there's Mr. Briny, I believe his name is, and Pico, his Wingull. How you doing, Pico? So we could find something over here, I guess, but I think we've done enough kind of Pokemon searching and enough little mini games. Kind of want to get on with the main quest. Alright, so we'll plant an Oranberry, and then we'll harvest these Pekka berries. Once again, 4 berries, very nice. And we'll plant some more. I do promise that sooner or later I will be playing this when it's not nighttime. Probably this weekend though, because even though... ooh, a battle. Oh sure, I'll accept your challenge. I have a lot of money. Oh, well, good for you. Must be a rich boy. Looks like it. Rich boy Winston. That's a very rich boy name. And all his money cannot buy him a good Pokemon. No offense to Zigzagoon, but it's very common. Alright, level 8 might be a little bit of a challenge. Just for fun, let's use Sand Attack. Maybe it'll miss. That'll be cool. But yeah, because even during the lockdown, I'm still working during the day. I can work from home, thankfully, which is nice, but unfortunately can't play Pokemon while I'm working. Maybe a little bit on my lunch break, but not enough to really record an episode. So I will probably play some this weekend, and then we can actually see what the Hoenn region looks like in the daylight. And would you look at that, tackle missed, which it might have missed anyway, because it's not 100% accurate, but I'd like to think it's because of the sand attack. Alright, good job, Ford. Why couldn't I win? Well, for one thing, your Pokemon was 4 levels lower. Alright, into the woods we go. Petalburg Woods, yep, very cool. Trainer tips. Any Pokemon that appears even once in a battle is awarded experience points. To raise a weak Pokemon, put it at the top of the team list. Yep, that's what I was saying earlier. If I wanted to trade like Lotad, I would send it out, switch to Torchic, and then they would both get experience that way. Alright, what can we find in these woods? I think I see an Oddish on there. And I think it's that thing over there that we're probably going for. But first, let's face this trainer and his bug Pokemon team. And hopefully the noise of our battle will not scare away whatever is hiding in the grass over there. So like I said, starting out with a fire type is actually going to be, in some ways easy, in some ways difficult. Because even though a lot of these trainers have bug types, which are weak to fire, the first gym leader has a type which is not weak to fire. It actually resists fire. I won't tell you which type quite yet, but yeah, it makes fire, kind of balances things out, I guess. Although I think water is probably the easiest type. Just thinking about what the first few gyms are like. Although the third gym would be a challenge, so. Grass, grass would actually be really good. Now, grass is not as good against like bug types like these, but against the gym leaders, grass would probably be the easiest. Well, until the fourth gym, so it's all pretty balanced. I have all these Pokemon, but I couldn't win. Nope, because they're all the same Pokemon, and they're all weak to Ember. And the Pokemon did get scared away, or it just got bored and walked away. Probably was just like a Wurmple or something anyway, maybe an Oddish. And Zigzagoon. So unfortunately, the Pokemarts do not sell repels yet. But when they do, we will, of course, get some repels. Ooh, critical hit. Very nice. It's cool, too, how they add a little Pokeball symbol next to the Pokemon you've already captured. So if you're going for, like, the complete Pokedex, you can remember, oh, do I need this one, or am I already good? I really just want that item. I hope it's a repel. That'd be ironic, though, because I had to face a lot of wild Pokemon to get here. And a Zigzagoon, so I wouldn't mind this too much if it was, like, new Pokemon, but it's like the woods have the same old Pokemon. What was cool about the original like Red and Blue games was that, you know, when you started, you found Pidgey and Rattata and maybe like a Sparrow or a Nidoran or something, but really kind of the same normal type Pokemon. Paralyze Heal. All right, well we might need it someday, but once again, I'll only be using that outside of battle. I'm gonna try to sneak around the tall grass a bit, so we can't jump up the ledges, unfortunately. In a way, this is kind of distracting having that thing at the bottom there. All right, somewhere nearby, not necessarily close. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. So he says, sometimes there are things on the ground even if you can't see them. That's why I always check where I'm walking. So there are indeed. Oops, I thought I found it, but apparently you can talk to them when you're at a diagonal. All right, maybe over here. So there are items on the ground that you can't see. They're not in item balls like that paralyzed heal was. And a lot of times the developers, there you go, found a potion. Try to hide them in areas where there's no tall grass, which makes sense. If there was like an item there, the tall grass wouldn't grow over it. So it's kind of cool. Oh, this is, okay, this is where you come out over here. We saw this earlier. And let's see if we can face this trainer. You're no better than a thief if you try to steal someone else's Pokemon. You should only throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon you encounter. Yep. Thank you, but I am aware of that. Pokeball. So is all that just for a Pokeball? That's a little disappointing. I was hoping for like maybe a TM or something. Or a Repel. Alright, back into the woods we go. And eventually we'll get an item called an Item Finder, or at least it used to be Item Finder. It might be like part of the Dex Nav now, or the Pokenav now. But that will help us to locate those hidden items. So another cool little mini game that you can choose whether or not you want to play with. if the thing at the bottom gets too distracting for me, I might change it back to the map, but we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. Alright, so, am I missing something? Oh, there's a Pokemon up there. I'm gonna turn this on, but I think it's probably the one I already see. Ooh, it tells you what it is. It's a Wurmple. Well, very exciting. It's like I was saying, in Red and Blue, when you got to Viridian Forest, you suddenly found all different Pokemon. You had Caterpie, and Weedle, and Kakuna, and Metapod, and um, you were lucky even a Pikachu. But here it's kind of just the same ones as outside of the woods, so I don't know. I don't really agree with that. I don't think it's too exciting. They should at least, like, if it's Wurmple in both areas, okay, that's cool, but at least mix it up otherwise. So who is this guy? Oh, it's one of the aides, right? Not a one to be found. Hello, have you seen any Pokemon called Shroomish around here? I really love that Pokemon. Oh, and who is this guy? Looks menacing. I was going to ambush you, but you had to dawdle in Petalburg Woods forever, didn't you? I got sick of waiting, so here I am. You, Devon Researcher, hand over these papers. This is not one of the professor's aides, that's a Devon Researcher. Devon is a company. I think they actually make the Pokedex, or the Pokenav. Ah! You're a Pokemon trainer, aren't you? You've got to help me, please. Huh? What do you think you're doing? Wait, you're going to protect him? No one crosses Team Aqua gets any mercy, not even a kid. Come and battle me. Alright, looking forward to it. Now, Team Aqua, as their name suggests, uses a lot of water-type Pokemon. They are the villainous team of Pokemon Sapphire and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. They also use a lot of dark types and some other poison types and things. So luckily he just has a Poochyena, which we've encountered before, is not that tough. It is a decent level. I'm sure it only knows physical attack, so let's go for a Growl this time. That'll reduce the damage its attacks do. Now if he was to use... Ooh, Howl, that will raise his attack. So we're right back where we started. So much for that approach. Alright, Ember it is then. So if he was to say use Growl on Ford here, wow, that did a lot of damage. I didn't think it would do that much. And reduce Ford's attack, it wouldn't decrease the amount of damage that Ember does, because Ember is a special attack. All moves in the game are either a special attack, which is based on your special attack and your opponent's special defense, or they're physical attacks, which are based on your attack stat and their defense or their status moves, like Growl or Sand Attack. You're crazy strong! Yeah, we got a decent bit of money for that. Grr, you got some nerve meddling with Team Aqua. Come on and battle me again. I wish I could say that, but I'm out of Pokemon. And hey, we of Team Aqua are also after something in Rustboro. I'll let you go for today. Well, thank you for the information. Oh, that was awfully close. Thanks to you, he didn't rob me of these important papers. I know, I'll give you this as my thanks. And we got the experience share. Okay. The experience share is a super high-tech device. I had to strain every fiber of my brain and body to develop this device. Turn the switch on, and all battle experience will be shared by all party Pokemon. Please give it a try. And with this, I'll restore your Pokemon's health. It's another technical advance that I'm proud of. Well, thank you for that, although we weren't doing too badly, honestly. Ah, didn't that Team Aqua thug say they were after something in Rustboro too? Uh-oh, it's a crisis. I can't be wasting time. Alright, farewell, Devon Researcher. I'm sure I'll see you again in Rustboro, and I guess when we get there we'll have to see what they're up to and if we can thwart their plans. Wouldn't be a Pokemon game without a villainous team. Alright, so now that we're all healed up, let's face another bug catcher. If you take bug Pokemon to school, you'll get to be instantly popular. I'm not sure about that, but maybe if you had like an electric type or a fire type or some cool type. Nincada, that's a bug type we haven't seen before. And I want to say, what is Nincada? Bug and Poison? I'm pretty sure it's Bug and Poison. In which case, it will of course be weak to Ember. So I actually chose the most difficult starter, considering who the villainous team is. If I had chosen, and the experience share. As you can see, it's dividing experience to the rest of our team. Um, I can't be popular if I lose. Um, I lost my train of thought there. Um, not the first time, won't be the last. I'll get back to it. So one thing I do want to do is turn off the experience share, because one thing I realized with Pokemon X and what I've read with this game as well is that so in the olden days, in the really olden days, experience share, um, I guess it worked the same way in Generation 1, the original games. It worked kind of the same way it does now, but it would evenly divide the same amount of experience to your whole team. So if you turned it on, instead of getting, say, 12 experience points for your lead Pokemon, if you had 3, they would each get 4 experience points, but it would be the same total. Once they introduced held items, they made experience share a held item, and if your Pokemon holds it, it gets half the experience of the battle. So instead of um, your main Pokemon you use getting 12, it would get 6, and the other Pokemon using the experience share would also get 6. And I think if you say use them both in battle, then it might get 9, and the original one would get 3, or there was some math involved, but overall that was the gist of it. So can't cut down this bush yet. Is that really all there is? We already been down this way, right? Yeah, that's where we were before. All right, so this is actually a really small woods. I'm glad there was a little bit of plot here, because otherwise it would have been pretty boring. Um, but in the more recent games, they've changed it so that instead of being a held item, it's once again a key item. But unlike Generation 1, where it divided the experience up evenly, it now gives a larger total pot of experience. Like it gives, I think, half to, like, or I don't know what it is, but it's something crazy. Like it gives like half to your original team member and then like a third to the other ones or something. So your total experience is much, much higher. Slack Off, that's an unusual Pokemon. I'm tempted to catch it just because it's unique, but I'm not going to. It's a normal type, so I'm sure my dad Norman would like it. I wouldn't really recommend training one just because, oh, Peck, a new move, because it's um, both it and its final evolution have a really weird ability where they can only attack once every 2 turns. So even though its final evolution, Slack Off, um, has, wait, no, Slack Off? Slacking, um, has, let's Rick Growl, a really high stat pool, like the same total stats that like legendary Pokemon have or close to it. Because of its ability, it's really not that good. It's a cool Pokemon. It's like a big gorilla Pokemon, has a big move pool, but the ability makes it not as good. I think in like double battles you can like switch off the ability maybe, and then make it really good. But we're not going to do too many double battles, so I'm not going to worry about that. Ooh, and who are you? This is Petalburg Recon Team checking in. I'm afraid I have to begin with an apology, Mr. Matt. It's not good news. The mission is a no-go. A little something cropped up and got in the way. Roger that. Got it. Will do. I'll continue investigating the energy we detected. Another Team Aqua grunt, it looks like. Phew. But that kid sure had some promise as a trainer, I'd say. I shall be facing her soon enough, and maybe Mr. Matt as well, who I guess is her boss. Well, that's what I was saying before. But just to finish the first thought, we will not be using experience share, I don't think, just because I've heard this game is already one of the easier Pokemon games. So, we'll see how our team does, but I feel like if we turned it on, we'd be very quickly over-leveled, and then it just wouldn't be fun anymore. So I think for most, if not all, the Let's Play, I'll probably just leave it off. Alright, so we have all kinds of berries here, and this place must be the Pretty Petal Flower Shop. That makes sense. Hopefully they don't mind me picking their berries here, but I will plant some new ones to make up for it. A good environmentalist. There we go. So yeah, if you want an easy time here, then Trico would have been the Pokemon to start with against some of Team Aqua's Pokemon. They don't use all water types, they do use a lot of water types. What's up? I like to shout my lungs out, it feels so good. You can have this, so you can try it out. Use it on a Pokemon and it will learn a move that attacks with its voice. If the move is used several times in a row, it becomes more powerful. Good voice, that's a new move, I think. A word of advice, a TM or technical machine can be used many times. It won't go away, so try it out as many times as you want. Yeah, that's something that was changed in the more recent games. I think Gen 5 was the first one, and I really do like that change. That's one that because there were games where, like in my first uh what was it? My first Generation 4 game um wasn't Pearl, Diamond, Pokemon Diamond. um, I had a Garchomp that I couldn't. Well, they can all learn it. Oh, that's cool. I'm not sure I want to teach it Echoed Voice. That's a tough one because um, so here's what I'm thinking is that let me get to my move screen here. Scratch will do more damage because my actually no it won't because my special attack is higher than my attack. All right, well in that case, um, let's go ahead and get rid of Scratch because Echoed Voice. So you can see that symbol there, the one that's like a star, the yellow star on the red background. That's not a flag. That means it's a physical attack, as is Peck. Sand attack is a status move, so it doesn't do damage. And the little like whirlpool target symbol there is a special attack. So you can see Ember and Echoed Voice are both special attacks. And since Ford has a higher special attack, we should probably prioritize those. I wonder if it's going to have a higher. I'm pretty sure when it evolves, it'll have a higher attack. Still a decent special attack, but which is good because we're gonna have a combination throughout the game. But I eventually like to lean um, more towards physical attacks. All right, and because Zigzagoon didn't have 4 moves, he already knows it. Teaching it to these guys because why not? I might use them in battle at some point if like for whatever reason Ford faints. So you never know when it might come in handy. But yeah, I love that was a change that they made, and we can. Ooh, a secret area. I hope sometimes it's good to explore like that. Hey, and also when you see these little open patches here, always click A just to make sure. And a super potion. I've heard in the more recent games they actually have TRs. I'm not sure what they stand for, but apparently they're like the old TMs. There's TMs which are reusable and TRs which are used once. So it's like they're taking steps back here. Maybe they regret doing that. But I don't know. It is a change that makes the game a little bit easier, but otherwise what you had to do before that was like either what I had to do in like the olden games was I had to do a whole other playthrough just to get my team on another game to have all the TMs I wanted. So it was really, really annoying. At least in later games, they did like battle tower points where you could get like multiple Earthquake TMs. It was tough and took a long time. You could argue it was almost as fun and almost as quick just making a new playthrough, but um, plus you got like a new Master Ball and Rare Candy, so there were benefits to doing that. But yeah, I'm really glad they made that change. Like I was saying, in my first Diamond game, I had a Garchomp that had to know Dig because I had used my Earthquake TM on think I had Swampert, and maybe Swampert can't learn Earthquake by leveling up. Maybe you have to use the TM. So, so I used it on my starter, but then I didn't have it for Garchomp. So it's so sad to have this incredibly powerful rare Pokemon, and then it knows Dig and not Earthquake. Nothing against Dig. It's a good placeholder until you get Earthquake, but Earthquake's, I think, better in pretty much every way. Oh, a Burn. So Tackle won't do much damage because, as we discussed, Burn decreases your attack stat. And there we go. Defeated by the Burn. Good job, Ford. Ooh. Well, let's go for it. Just because it looks like a Pokemon I haven't seen yet. Oh, it's a Wingull, I think. I like the silhouettes too. It reminds me of the old Who's That Pokemon or What's That Pokemon? Is it Who or What? Who? I think it's Who. Who's That Pokemon? Um, Alright, so here's a good example of why we have Echoed Voice, because Ember is not very effective. There, and Peck's not bad either, but it's a flying type move, and we are not flying type. Torch Shake is based on the chicken, but ironically it is not flying. It can learn some good flying moves, but it is purely fire. So there we go. Good use of Echoed Voice. Alright, time to move on down. Alright, whew, made it out. I also like in the newer games, completing the Pokedex is based on how many Pokemon you see and not how many you catch, which makes sense. When there's like Android Pokemon, it's hard to even see all of them, let alone catch all of them. So That's, gotta see them all, doesn't really have the same ring to it, but, um, it makes sense. This is the Pretty Petal Flower Shop, spreading flowers throughout the world. Your name is? Owen. That's a nice name. Owen, would you like to learn about berries? Sure. Berries grow on trees that thrive only in soft soil. If you take some berries, be sure to plant one in soft soil. A planted berry will soon sprout, grow into a plant, flower beautifully, and then grow berries again. I want to see the whole wide world filled with beautiful flowers. That's my dream. Please help me, Owen. Plant berries and bring more flowers into the world. Oh, I would be very happy to. Let's see what your assistant has to say, or assistants. Select berries on your area nav, and you can check the places where you planted berries. And when the berry plants sprout berries, berry symbols will be shown on the berry list. Oh, cool. Is that on the map thing? Where's the berry symbol? See some symbols at the bottom. It's like my trainer card. I see settings, that's the Pokedex, right? And there's items. Maybe I don't have the upgrade yet. Oh, I clicked on it, and there we go. I see, berries. Cool. So you can see, what does that say? So, okay, so you can't see if they're ready, I guess, or maybe the symbol on the left shows you. But since it hasn't been very long, you can see that they probably haven't grown yet, clearly. Alright, that's really cool. And Y zooms in. Oh, very nice. It's nice little features they added to the game. Nothing groundbreaking, but hey, it's a nice little feature. I'm trying to be like my big sisters. I'm growing flowers too. Here you go, it's for you. Oh, an asperberry. You can plant a berry to grow more berries, or you can have a Pokemon hold it. But now there's a machine that mixes up different berries to make candy for Pokemon. I want some candy too. I do too. Maybe after this Let's Play. There's so much to talk about in this game that I can't. There's some area somewhere later in the game. I think it's like the Berry Master's house where there's just a big field of soft soil and you can plant all kinds of berries. It's really great. Hello. Flowers will bloom beautifully and bear many berries if you take good care of them. You'll like tending flowers, I'm sure. You can have this. There we go, the Wilmer pail. It's like the um, Squirtle bottle, I think it was called in the last game. While berry plants are growing, water them with the Wilmer pail. And another thing, if you don't pick berries for a while, they'll drop onto the ground and they'll sprout again. Isn't that awesome? It's like they have the will to live. Yep. Well, berries were around long before we were. And might be around long after if we're not careful. Alright, that's cool. Lots of flowers. Little checkout counter. So let's go ahead and water the berries that are out here. This is fun too because I like gardening in real life even though I haven't done it in a very long time. I did a lot as a kid and I do have some spider plants that I keep and take care of. It's actually a whole family of spider plants. My grandmother started it and I think the one I have on my desk here is a 4th generation spider plant. So the original one was its great grandmother or great grand plant. And then one of that plant's little spiderlings my grandmother planted and grew into another one. The original one dies, then that one became kind of her main one. And a long time ago I took a little spiderling from that. And then I have that downstairs. That's kind of my biggest one. And then since that time I've taken 4 little spiderlings off it and planted them in soil. And now even some of them are starting to get little 5th generation spiderlings. They're not quite old enough to come off the stem yet, but you know, one day. Alright, another Zigzagoon. Nothing too exciting here. I did water the plants, right? Now can't remember if I did it or just thought about it. We'll go back and check just very quickly since we're right here. But yeah, moral of the story, I definitely like doing berries, and it can be very beneficial too, because it saves you money on having to buy potions and antidotes and that kind of thing. Asperberries either cure burn or... oh, I don't think I did water it, because the soil looks pretty dry. Oh, it is damp, okay. Just the way it looks. So, yeah, either burns or freezes, I'm not sure which one. Should I or shouldn't I? Okay, sure, I will battle. Of course you should. So those bushes you kind of saw right there, and we saw one in the woods before. Those need to be cut down with the move cut, which we haven't learned yet, but I'm sure we will in good time. Okay, so this is cool. We're against a Lotad now, which, as you guys know, is water and grass type. So, because of that, Ember is evenly effective since it's not good against water, but super effective against grass. Echoed Voice will be evenly effective, but Peck is going to be super effective because flying attacks are even against water and good against grass. So this is why it's really good to have a diverse move pool so that you're kind of prepared for any situation. I know a lot of people when they start playing these Pokemon games, especially when they're kids, you'll see like a Charizard that knows like Flamethrower, Ember, Fire Blast, and Slash or something, which is not good because if you end up against a Rock type, you're in trouble. But if you teach it, say, Submission, a fighting type move, then it's super effective against those Rock types. So um, now there's more to it than that because Submission is a physical attack and Fire is usually special attacks. But I won't get into all that. But anyway, the moral of the story is you want to normally give your Pokemon a very diverse move pool. Oh, our first double battle. This is exciting. This is a new addition to the Generation 3 games that I really love, and it's been a huge part of the series since. We're twins, so we battled Pokemon together too. Alright, you're going to battle our Pokemon. These are a really exciting way just to kind of mix things up. They've tried to emulate the success with like triple battles and rotate battles and inverse battles and sky battles and all kinds of things, and some of those are pretty fun too, but nothing's as fun as just a simple old school double battle. And in fact, if you ever want to play competitive Pokemon, like on the national stage or in competitions, um, all of those competitions, or most of them, the official ones at least, are double battles because they go a lot faster. Which I didn't like at first, but they actually are pretty fun to watch. Alright, so you know what I wonder? I wonder if Echoed Voice will do more damage if like Torchic uses it and then Zigzagoon. I don't think so. I'm gonna use this though. Okay. So in double battles, you can target any of the opponent's Pokemon. If you wanted to, you could actually target your own Pokemon. And there are rare circumstances where that's actually, although, oh yeah, second, I could attack Fort if I wanted to. And there are rare circumstances where that could actually be a good thing, but they're very rare. Um, Normally, you want to attack your opponent's Pokemon. Um, but there are also some moves that will damage both of your opponent's Pokemon at the same time. They do a little less damage because of that. They're called spread moves, but they will do both at once. And there's also some moves which damage all three of the other Pokemon on the field at the same time. Generally, you don't want to use those. Surf, I think, is one of those moves because it'll hurt your partner as well. Um, but a good example of a strategy that might involve that would be if you're with a Pokemon um, who has the ability Water Absorb, which heals your Pokemon whenever it's hit by a Water type attack, and the Pokemon next to it has the move Surf. You could freely use the move Surf, which will damage both of your opponent's Pokemon and heal your partner at the exact same time. So that could be a really good strategy for double battles. I'm so disappointed that we lost. We lost even though we fought together. I like how they have little like Pichu dolls too, or whatever those are. That's cool. Alright guys, well I think we're almost at Rustboro, but I guess we have a little more to go, or is this it? Yeah, we're basically there. So when we come back, we might go fight that fisherman, but otherwise, we are here at Rustboro City, and that is the home to our first Pokemon gym that we can actually face. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. And like I said, we'll be also catching some more Pokemon soon, so I think things will really be starting to pick up soon. As always, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for plenty more Let's Play Alpha Sapphire.